are live. All right.
All right.
So, first, I want to welcome everybody to Jedi and the Mailman, our first episode.
Woo!
So, um, Mike, you've been on the show a few
Yes.
times. Why don't you introduce yourself to all the new listeners and stuff like that? And
Okay. Well, I'm Mike, the mailman. Uh, known Jimmy now for how old are we? 48 years.
48 years.
Yep. I am one day older than Mr. Adams there. Uh, we've shared lots of experiences throughout our lives. Like I said, known each other, born in the same hospital and whatnot. Yeah, I don't know what else to say really.
All right. Yeah, Mike was with me for one of my very first movie experiences, going to see Return of the Jedi with my dad in 1983. Um, and so we're just going to start talking some Star Wars here. We do some nights will just be random, some nights it will be not so random, but we do have. Let me see if I can bring this up here. Screen. We're going to be talking about this tonight. This is going to be the big thing tonight. D23 is going to happen. Mike, have you ever heard of D23 before?
I have.
You have heard of
I
D23.
have.
All right, because I had not until like a year or two ago.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's probably about this. Actually, it's probably less than a year or two for me. Just that podcast you turned me on to, Weekly Planet,
yeah.
listening to those guys, delving back into some of the older episodes, and they've talked about D23, and that's probably the first time I've ever heard of it.
Yeah. So, for D23, it's basically, I mean, it says right here, it says the ultimate Disney fan event. Get ready to step inside your own Star Wars story through the magic of stagecraft. Now, this article is coming from StarWars.com, but D23 is not just Star Wars; it's everything that falls under that
Disney.
umbrella. Typically, this is one of the reasons too for like San Diego Comic Con. Things have kind of calmed down in the recent past. Hall H isn't quite what it used to be because they'll announce some Marvel stuff, they'll announce Star Wars stuff, they're going to announce Pixar and and they basically own everything. So, but we're going to focus on the Star Wars tonight. And if you guys have any thoughts or anything like that, let us know. But the big thing, we'll kind of go over the. So we got a Lucasfilm booth, we got a Disney Plus pavilion, we got the Star Wars Darkade, we have all these different things happening, and then we have the schedule that's been put up, and the schedule has been causing a lot of craziness. All right, so um, it'll start this Friday, August 10th at 10 a.m. This thing would be awesome to go to because a lot of this stuff we're not going to get to see. We're going to have to wait, and we'll be sitting there waiting for other podcasters and people like that to
Yeah.
tell us what's going on, or Disney will start dropping things. The first thing we got ILM Stagecraft at Galaxy of Innovation at 10 a.m. Lucasfilm booth. You're going to learn all about ILM Stagecraft through a first-hand experience at the volume. So
Ooh.
yeah, that trying to think of which celebration it was. Celebration Chicago, I believe. So that was before COVID. So 17 or 18. Oh, I can't remember.
Yeah, it was a
Definitely
while
before
back. I
COVID.
remember
Yeah.
Celebration Chicago. I'd never heard about Celebration, and you had popped that up on my radar and
Oh
said,
yeah.
"Dude, we should go to this." And at the time, my life was just kind of crazy and chaotic, raising kids, and didn't have the opportunity to check that out with you. And you just went off running in the Star Wars, and I kind of drifted back.
Yeah. No, I will say that I thought it was going to be a once in a lifetime experience because it
Yeah,
was. It's not cheap. I mean, it's not like well, no offense Disneyland, but it's not like it's expensive as going to Disneyland. But some of the places we've gone, we've been in London recently. We went to Anaheim after Chicago. That obviously was postponed because of COVID. And then
yeah.
in April, I'm going to Japan. So I mean,
Japan.
celebration itself is not super expensive, but like the tickets and things like that are reasonable. It's just getting there and
Yeah.
food and all that stuff. But it is if you're a big Star Wars fan and one of them, and I'm assuming it'll be come back to the states um, in a year or two. If you have the
Yeah.
opportunity to go to it, you should absolutely do it. It can be a once in a lifetime experience,
Right.
unless of course you catch the bug like I did. I have, and I'm gone and going and going. But anyway, so Chicago, we went through to a ILM experience, and they were talking about all this cool stuff, and they were showing us stuff from Solo and how they did some of the special effects, and then they went on to talk about. This is what really caught my attention was some of the attachments for like K2SO, which we know hopefully we'll see in Andor season. Oh, I know we're going to see them in Andor season 2.
Yeah, I can't
These
wait.
long robotic arms and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
ILM developed this stuff, but then after they did it, they took it and they put it into helping people like that have like missing limbs and things like that.
Oh,
They've taken
that's
this
awesome.
technology and they're not just using it for Star Wars. They've driven it to
Yeah.
after they develop it. I'm sure that some of it's tax write-offs and things like that, but they're
Right, but
driving that stuff out
if it's
to
helping somebody, it's
yeah. So that's pretty cool. So I have
yeah.
no idea, and this says firsthand experience at the volume. So I mean,
It seems
what do you?
like somewhere, I think it was somewhere deeper into the article or something like that. It explained a little bit more about this stuff, and it looks like you're going to get an opportunity as a fan to interact with some Star Wars characters or something like that, and maybe have a little bit of experience in the volume. To see how they do those things.
That would be insane. This makes me want to be a D23 member and
Yeah.
do that stuff. So, but that would be crazy. Um, yeah, that
Yeah,
would be.
we could complain about some of the shows and whatnot that are all filmed in the volume, but to get firsthand experience there on site, and that would be pretty cool.
I don't know how you would top. I don't know how you would. I mean, that would be nuts. I mean, just
Hmm.
if you're standing there on that stage and all that stuff comes around you, and it's like you're living on. I'm sure they probably
Yeah,
have like the Mando or something from Ahsoka or something like that set up, and you're like get to be in the
yeah, yeah,
given
yeah,
given these guys, they're crazy as far as the stuff that they'll do and get ready for. And this is a massive event too, so they
yeah,
don't spare any cost. Like nothing is out of limits for these guys. So, um, but yeah, I think that would be really really cool. And that's to start off your day. So you get there,
yeah,
and the first thing you get to do is go quite possibly play on the volume,
yeah.
which that would be pretty cool.
Your day
Um,
could go worse.
yeah, it could definitely go worse. Like it definitely could go worse. And then, of course, I'm not sure how long these panels are. I don't know if it's like because at Celebration they kind of overlap each other, so you kind of
Hmm.
have to pick and choose what you're going to do, what you can get into, what you can't. I think this is a little bit more limited. Some of these events because like you have to have like tickets and you know you can't. And so if you're getting into some of this stuff or not. I think some of
Yeah,
this like these early afternoon ones are all kind of free, not free, but you get in because we'll get down here to 7 to 9. And it's like a D23 Ultimate Fan Pass ticket
yeah.
holder. So I don't even know what that means. I'm
Neither do
assuming
I.
you're giving
You don't.
you're
You.
giving Disney more money.
Oh yeah, for sure. You don't have anybody in your fan base that's ever been to one of these D23 events?
No, we actually have a teacher
Hmm.
that works at my high school who was a D23 I think pass holder, but they
Yeah.
recently let up because I'm not gonna lie to you folks. I tried to maybe swindle my way into because sometimes you can watch this stuff. They can watch things online as well. So I was going
Yeah.
to try and maybe quite possibly go over
Ooh,
there for dinner and watch
get
some
some
stuff,
scoops.
get some scoops. But this could be a tax write-off if this ever becomes a job. So maybe we'll
Yeah,
do
let's
that or
hope.
something. Oh man, RFB's in the house. Jimmy Mike.
All right,
Um,
a
am
Pennsylvania
I the only
boy.
one in here? I don't RFB. I don't know. This is our first time going live on a Tuesday. I forgot what day it is. I'll be better about days. I got some confusion. One of the reasons we started late. My life is about over tomorrow because school starts again on students. But
Oh,
I have to
you
start
poor
remembering
thing.
what day it is. And that really kind of is a
Yep.
pain for me. So RFB, thanks for joining us. I know this is a bit delayed because I can see our feed in YouTube Studio and it's wigging me out a little bit. So I apologize that I missed you until just now. Noon on Friday, we got Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy. Um,
Cool.
have you seen the preview trailer for that?
No.
For the okay, so if you're the What If series for Marvel, right? They got that What If
Hmm.
series and they different characters. I'm not a huge fan of What If. I liked it on Marvel because I'm not as invested. I'm like, oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. And I got a good friend
Yeah.
of mine, Danny, who loves um, Peter Quill. He loves Star Lord,
Yeah.
and they've had T'Challa be Star Lord. And I was like, T'Challa is a better Star Lord than
Hmm.
Star Lord is the Star Lord. So he gets real mad about that. But this is going to be Lego Star Wars. They're going to give us the what if scenarios, and basically, this is where a ton of the Legos are from. Coming from like the black, the was it the Black Falcon just came
Hmm.
out.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah. I
got
did
that.
see
You
that.
got Darth Jar Jar. You got White
Ah.
Vader. You got this like hippie Luke Skywalker. Just still
Yeah.
waiting for mine to arrive from Lego, but um, yeah. So we got all that.
Cool.
So this says learn more about the Lego Star Wars special, Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy from Dan Hernandez, showrunner, writer, executive producer, Benji Samit, showrunner, writer, executive producer, and James Waugh, executive producer and Lucasfilm senior vice president, franchise content and strategy. So you're gonna have a lot of people who are involved in this. I don't know if this is like a series or if it's going to be like a one and done because a lot of times the Lego stuff on Disney Plus has been since Disney's taken over has just been like a one like show like here's
Yeah.
this they get
But
Christmas specials and summer specials, but
yeah. Well, like you said, like if it's going down the what if rabbit hole, you'd think that would have to be a series, wouldn't you? Like you can't
wow, you
cram
would
all
think.
those different things into a one episode or one movie or one special or anything like that. All the different things that you're talking about there, you'd think it'd have to be some sort of a series.
Yeah, I would think so. Hey Dad Vader, what's happening? Thanks for joining us. Any of you guys going to D23, let us know.
Yes, please.
So because I'd be curious as to get some inside information. But yeah, so I think the What If series. Again, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the concept because like I mean one of the biggest issues with Star Wars fans is canon, right? We learned this in
Yeah.
Acolyte. Um, but the Vision
I.
series, people seem to be
Mhm.
okay with it not being, like oh, there's some Star Wars, but it's not canon. I wish
Yeah.
parts of it were canon though, like the Ronin and all that. But
Oh
I
yeah, that was
mean,
cool.
yeah. So
But yeah, I would imagine if they do what if series, it's going to be outside of canon, wouldn't you think? Just a
well,
little
yeah. I mean,
fun thing to
yeah.
do.
Just kind of a silly, just given prudence to. I think Jedi Bob's going to show up. I think the idea that we're getting a Darth Jar Jar after how many years of people saying that
Yeah,
Jar Jar Binks is, actually
the
a
true
Sith
Sith
Lord.
Lord.
We got to hear. We got to hear. I think Dad Vader was there with me. We got to hear Amon Best talking about it, and he loves the Darth Vader stuff or the
Yeah,
Darth Jar Jar stuff.
Darth
Sorry,
Jar Jar.
he loves that idea and that concept, and he was kind of showing us like some of the stuff he did as an actor. He was copying Jackie Chan, like drunken kung
Uh,
fu, and when he was
oh
doing
yeah.
some of his movements and stuff like that.
Uh,
So he says he could see it. Um, he thought that was pretty cool. So he really kind of got into the idea. Okay, RFB says, in my opinion, Star Wars Visions is the Star Wars What If. Yeah, I can see that. Like that's fair. I do
yeah,
love. This is the fun thing about the show, folks, is we can go wherever we want.
yeah,
Um, I do love some of those episodes, and I'm not a huge anime guy. Mike, I remember you and I watched Akira. It was like the
yeah,
first anime I've ever seen, and I didn't understand it. I didn't understand
yeah.
what was going on. I mean, we were kind of young back then, I think, maybe for anime.
Maybe.
Uh, I don't. I
Yeah,
mean, do you
I've
remember what was
certainly
happening? Oh, I remember
not really.
Skinny. That is
No,
all
not
I
really.
remember from.
I
So
dip I've dipped my toe in the anime pool, and as a like you said, we got exposed to some of it when we were younger, and obviously had the opportunity as we got older to delve into it. But it's just I don't know, it's not really my thing. I
no, but
have
no. Go ahead. Sorry.
no, go ahead.
Nah, yeah, it's just it has never really spoke to me.
Yeah,
I love Visions because when I see kids with anime stuff on their backpacks and their computers, I can be like, "Hey, like you like anime?" And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "What do you like, Star Wars?" I'm like, "Well, it's all right." And then you can
yeah,
be like, "Well, check out Visions and then come and talk to me about it after you're done." So I've used it a couple times with a couple kids I haven't been able to reach, and I've been like, "Check
yeah,
this out. Tell me which one you like. Do you think this is really anime kind of thing?"
yeah.
Um, but
I just like the in the vision. I just like the showcase of all the different art and
yeah,
the
it's
ways
really
that different people are taking it. It's that the Vision series is a lot of fun.
yeah. That's kind of where
But
I was going with this
mm,
conversation was season two of it. I
mhm.
thought was absolutely outstanding as far as the different cultures we got to see.
Yeah,
Like
see,
just
I haven't
blown me
seen
away.
season 2 yet.
Oh yeah, it is. I think there's not some of the longer ones that season one had. Although
Mm.
the Ronin's still my favorite. That one, I just
Oh yeah, that's
that
like the first one, wasn't it?
that was nuts. Yeah, that one was
Yeah,
off the hook. But
yeah.
um, RFB says when I was growing up, I'm 10 years older than Jimmy, so he's 10 years older than both of us.
Wow.
We called it Japan animation. Well, yeah, because they were kind of like they were
Yeah,
kind of the ones who started it all, like Star
yeah.
Blazers, Voltron. We love Voltron. That was
Oh yeah.
anime.
Yeah.
Voltron
I
was
mean,
anime.
all those Voltron and what was the oh, there was another one. It was really big in the United States. The ships that turned into robots.
Not Transformers.
No, no, no.
GoBots.
Nope. Crap, I can't think of what it was. But we loved that sort of stuff when we were kids. But going back and watching any of that stuff, it's so cringy. Even like going back and watching old episodes of GI Joe or
Oh yeah,
Transformers. Like we thought that stuff was the bomb when we were kids, and
yeah,
you go back and oh, this is just a commercial to sell toys. It's pretty terrible.
yeah. I mean, it's definitely not for me. I can see the draw to some people, and some people love this stuff. I mean, I know
Yeah.
here in Kansas City they have a big massive. He said Trigun. Was that what it was called?
Trigon.
Trigun.
No, no,
So, um,
I can't think
but
of it right now. But
yeah, they have a whole massive like Comic Con just for anime up there,
yeah,
and I was like, I don't know enough to want to go to that, but that's
right.
cool that there's that many people who love it. I know it's massive.
Absolutely.
Gundam. I've
That
heard of
might, that
Gundam.
might, yeah, that might
I've
be
heard of
it.
Gundam. So that one
Yeah,
was pretty big. But yeah, so anyways, what if, long story short, and it's all going to be in the Lego world. You know, they've done some
yeah,
things that aren't canon. Um,
right. I'm down with
I've
it. That's one thing. Like the Visions didn't take any of your
mhm.
mainline characters or anything like that and do a what if. So an actual what if, even if it's in Lego, it'd be pretty cool taking some of those mainline characters and
And
exploring
I
different avenues of them.
always love the humor of Star Wars Lego and Lego in general. I don't know why it's so
Oh
funny. I'm
yeah,
an almost
it's
50-year-old
great.
man, but man, it cracks me up. Some
Hmm.
of the cheesy stuff. So the Dad Vader says, "I'm Megatron." That was definitely not Trans. Although the new Transformers movie, Transformers Prime or Transformers One, it kind of
Yeah,
has like a weird look to it, a different look to it.
yeah,
Um, so we got that. That'll be cool. Well, I'm sure we'll get tons of information out that. I think there are more Lego sets coming from that. There's one where like TIE fighters have X wings and X wings have TIE fighter wings. That
interesting.
just feels wrong to me for some reason.
Yeah,
Maybe it's 40 plus years of seeing things one way. But I
yeah.
don't want to be one of
I
those
have to.
closed-minded psychos that
No,
can't adapt and can't
yeah,
adjust. And I mean, it's just for fun, but man, it seems wrong.
yeah. I need to get a look at that because I
Yeah,
can't even picture it in my mind.
yeah, it's real bizarre. And I think there's only been one trailer for it so far, but
Yeah.
um, it's
Well,
pretty cool. And
I am
yeah,
hoping by next Monday there's some more trailers rolling out. A lot of stuff. You know what I mean?
well, yeah, that's
Like
us.
at least we should at least be getting the first trailer for Skeleton Crew. I would figure.
Yeah, I hope so. That's the big thing. Like, obviously, we'll get to that when we get to the Saturday night thing. But 2 o'clock, we got Lucasfilm booth. We got Creatures and Droids with Legacy Effects, which we have friends that have been on the show from Legacy Effects. Dawn, I always mess up her last name, and Tamara. these are the people who have brought like a lot of X-Men stuff to life. I mean,
Yeah.
Dawn told us stories. One of the first times she was on our shows, like the first Wolverine, she's holding Hugh Jackman's claws in between takes, and then she
Yeah.
would hand them to him, and he was just, super nice guy. Apparently, she had really great things to say about him. She's all awesome. She's been on the show, I think, twice now. I think she's going to come on after Skeleton Crew's over because she's been in that show.
Okay.
But that's
Yeah.
Legacy Effects. Are the people who brought Grogu to life, so
Hmm.
everyone should love them. Um, but anyways, it says the creative studio that brought you the Mandalorians, Grogu, and Ahsoka, Merle the Loth Cat, to life talks about the craft of making lifelike aliens, creatures, and droids. So that would be pretty fun. And I love
Yeah.
this. I don't know about you. Do you like the behind the scenes kind of stuff?
I mean, it's it's like your podcast today. I don't know, just getting to hear from these creators. They get to talk about what they love to do. Their life's work. They talk with so much passion that
Hmm.
even if you're not interested in it, just listening to anybody talk with that kind of passion and love for what they do is just interesting. Like I listen to a ton of different podcasts because I'm out in the street all day walking around. Gotta let my mind drift a little bit. So I listen to lots of different stuff, and I listen to interviews of people that I'm not really interested in, and sometimes you find the most curious and interesting things because it's not a path that you'd go down. But like I said, if it's somebody that really likes what they're doing or has a passion about it, it's inspiring. It's infectious.
Oh, yeah. I know. Yeah. I'm still kind of dumbfounded that he came on our show. Like, this is the guy
Yeah.
who
I mean, I texted you
created.
this morning, and
Yeah.
yeah, no
And
offense but like you're
no,
just a
I
tiny little
no, I get it.
podcast, and
You're a tiny little
this guy's.
podcast.
I mean, his credits are amazing.
Yeah, they're phenomenal. Kev Jenkins, folks, if you haven't watched it or haven't listened to it, it'll come up on Friday. Um, and he did. I'll just give you a heads up if you're waiting for the YouTube version of it. He did not want to be on camera.
Yeah.
He just likes his privacy, although
Yeah, I get
he
that.
was okay with us giving photos and things like that. He just didn't want because he's filming from his house and stuff, and so we were absolutely going to respect that because we
Mm.
want that man to come back on the show. But yeah, if you haven't seen that, check it out. It's phenomenal. Um, just the stuff that he's seen and done, and he was kind of
Yeah.
cool off the air. He told us a few things. Nothing dramatic, but he would just be like he would just kind of explain some things, and I think maybe Jack and I think we were a little stunned at
Yeah.
first, and if we could get him back on, I have some questions for him. But I just wanted to get to know him and wanted to kind of get to know what he was doing. But then again, hopefully, it's one of the reasons we're going to show the respect and stuff like that to him. We didn't ask him
Yeah.
any pressing questions about Colin Trevorrow's version of episode 9.
Right.
Because he's not going to be able to tell us anything. So we're just like,
Right.
be kind of dumb to ask a question that he can't tell. But he says he knows a lot
Yeah.
of things. He just,
Yeah.
Hollywood's a crazy place. So that,
That's got to be so tough to have that kind of insider knowledge that everybody wants, and you got to watch what you say everywhere you go. You
yeah,
can't
because
let it out.
he told us if he paused, he was thinking how to answer a rounder question.
Right.
So we didn't ask too many we purposely don't try to ask our guests when we have them on anything that's going to make them
Yeah. Why put
yeah,
him in that
I
awkward
mean, why?
situation?
That's pointless, and they're not going to tell you
Hmm.
anything. So
Yeah.
why piss them off?
Exactly.
Like
Hmm.
we want. Cavan Scott asked us not to ask a certain question, so we didn't ask it. Then he brought it
Yeah.
up anyway, so we're just like, what the heck? But he was super passionate as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure most of the people that are on here listening are listeners of the podcast, so they know. But if you're not listening to the podcast, just get into Explore the Force, get into their back catalog. Like, you guys have interviewed some crazy people that I would never expect, and it's great. It's like I said, when you talk to these people and they're passionate about what they do, it's just infectious, man. I love it.
we've got some things lined up coming down the pipe. We've got some more authors and some more people involved in Star Wars, some prequel people. We're trying to spread the interviews out a little bit more because we know we do want to talk Star Wars a lot, but we don't want to just be interviews. But we have a
Yeah,
couple interviews up our sleeves already that we're gonna get ready to
good.
drop. We got a big one this weekend that will come out, so we're pretty excited for some of that stuff. Then we got one in later August that we're gonna sprinkle in there a little bit. But yeah, I think getting to see how they bring this to life would be pretty cool.
Yes.
Tamara and Dawn were we met them at Hutchinson Comic Con, Smallville Con, which doesn't go on anymore. It's a super small con, like it's not big. I mean, no offense. It's cool. It's family run. It's really nice.
Hmm.
And we went up there, Molly and I was like, all right, these people were involved in Star Wars, and I didn't really, and I'm like looking them up on the way, and I'm like,
Hmm.
holy goodness gracious! And then we got to talk to them. They were super sweet. Let us interview them, um, and just the knowledge and the movies that these people have worked on, and
Yeah. Yeah.
just phenomenal. And these are the people who bring like all of the Mando gear and stuff like that. Like they do a lot of stuff that like ILM doesn't have time to do. Like
Hmm.
to me, it seems like Legacy Effects and ILM are really tight because I mean they do a lot of stuff together, and um, it's really awesome. So,
Yeah.
but I think that'd be cool to see how they bring a Lothcat to life, and then we
Hmm.
got some Star Wars Jedi, Young Jedi Adventures, Nubs meet and greet. I think Nubs is the big giant blue guy, so I'm not really into this show. This is
Yeah, I've
really
not
meant
seen
for
a.
kids. Now
Yeah.
I do know that my wife watched it with my nephews, and I
Hmm.
watched it with I watched one episode I think, and they loved it.
Yeah.
They're 8 and 5. They're turning 5 this month. Um, so they loved it. So I mean, it nails the demographic perfectly. They got some High
Good.
Republic tie-ins because it takes place during the High
Yeah.
Republic, so that's pretty cool. Um, but yeah, I don't really have a lot to say about that. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Um, so what does RFB say? He says, "Wish more were Star Wars fans of Star Wars like Kev Jenkins." If folks heard what he said, yeah, yes, RFB, just exactly what Mike said has been saying. When someone has that kind of passion,
Hmm.
and his thing about, if you want to change it, then get a job in it and make it
Yeah.
the way you want. He's like, that's what I did.
Yeah.
Obviously he's
Yeah.
super talented, and
Hmm.
some of these negative Nancy podcasters, and I won't say anyone's names, but yeah, if you hate it so much, go get involved. Go write a
Hmm.
script. Go do something about it.
Right.
Change it. Like,
Exactly.
stop complaining about it and fix it if you want to. Then you can really complain. If you wrote the best script ever for the best movie ever, right, and no one's
Right.
taking, then you can like, yeah, these movies suck. My movie's great. Then there you
Right.
go. You can complain a little bit.
Good luck with all that.
Yeah, good luck with all that. Disney Entertainment Showcase from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Honda Center. And here we go. This is event, the Honda Center for D23 Ultimate Fan Pass tickets holders only. There are no reservations or standby, and this says, enjoy the magic of Disney Entertainment and a star-studded showcase featuring exclusive looks at movies, series, stage shows you love, and glimpse into what can look forward to. Join some of your favorite stars as they give you a peek behind the curtain at upcoming projects, never before seen footage, surprise announcements, special guests, musical performances, exclusive new content coming to the big screen, your small screens, and stages worldwide. Now, this Saturday morning when you wake up, this is going to
Yes.
be
This
the
is
news.
where we're. Yes, this is where the leaks are coming from.
This is
This
what
is what we're
we're,
waiting for.
yeah, so that stuff. Oh, do you have any? I know you read, it was a Bespin Bulletin. He put out something.
Hmm.
What does he say about this one? He's this kind of where he was focused on, right? Like about
Yeah.
stuff folks
I,
were going to hear.
I mean, it's like I said, I didn't get to read the whole article. I had a miserable day at work, but I did try on my breaks to read through it. And I mean, it's mostly just wild ass speculation. But
Yeah, he's
um,
got someone though. Because he
yeah,
nails some things. He's missed some things in the past too, though.
yeah.
So
But I mean, the early stuff that I got through in the article seems pretty pretty much what you would expect. Like you said, probably we're gonna get that Skeleton Crew trailer. It's got. I mean, how many years? It was 2 years ago that they finished filming, or a year
well, it
ago.
was supposed to
It's
release
been
last
done
year.
for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, it
So,
was supposed
I
to come out
mean,
a while ago.
there should be an all new trailer besides that one that's out there. Um,
You did not show,
so
ladies and gentlemen. You did not
we're
show.
looking forward to that. And then the other one was probably going to get at least some kind of a peek into Andor season 2, because that's right on the that's the next one up, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, Skeleton
It should
Crew
be
and then
coming out in
Andor.
the
So we
spring or
think
something.
that what was it, December 3rd? Is that that was the
That's
release
for
date.
Skeleton Crew.
Yeah, because all right, so
Yeah,
that like, yeah, because Unlimited comes out November 8th, and then the card game, and then that comes out, so it'll be a busy month or so. That's going to take us into January. I'm assuming sometime in March, maybe for
something
Andor.
like that. Sometime in the spring, I would assume. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
So
yeah, beyond that, I mean, it's like I said. I think beyond that, it just becomes more wild speculation. Maybe maybe something on the Mando Grogu movie. Uh, you know, who knows?
I'm
I mean, I'm just
assuming.
excited to see what actually does come out of there.
Yeah, and that's the thing too is it's not just Star Wars; it's gonna be everything. So I mean, this could
Right.
be some Marvel stuff. Although Marvel doesn't have a
Yeah.
big presence at San Diego
Yeah.
Comic
It
Con, so I'm not
Comic Con.
sure what else they're gonna show. But they can if they
Well, I
want.
think I saw is Harrison Ford supposed to be at D23? I thought, right?
Probably. So that's
So
gonna all
maybe
be
he'll come
about
out as the Red
Marvel.
Hulk or something.
Oh, okay. And it's nice to see he knows about as much about
Yeah.
Marvel as he does about Star Wars.
Yep.
So that was exciting. He's just
Yeah.
grumpy. I will tell you an
Uh huh.
inside story about Harrison Ford. So my ex-wife, she was his CSR at Flight Safety International. So when he'd come
Yeah.
in for his training, she would get to deal with him, right? Not grumpy, super friendly, like nice
Yeah.
to her, all this stuff. Um, but his pilot, a friend of ours, Don, really loved him in the movie 42, right? The
Okay.
Jackie Robinson story. And he apparently, I've never seen this movie. I'm not a
Oh, it's a
baseball
great
guy, so
movie.
I've never seen it.
It's
But
still
apparently,
it's worth the watch.
Harrison Ford gave this impassioned speech. Talks about, I mean, whatever. It's like this big moving speech in the movie, and Don's like, he was like, that just got me, and blah blah blah, and um, Harrison said something like, "Yeah, I have no idea. I just that's why I get paid the big bucks. Like I had no idea what I was talking about or something like." So he really he really is a pretty good actor. And Don was just like, "Oh man, like I can't believe you didn't like you weren't all into it." So that was pretty funny.
Wow.
Um, I think I want to see something about Lando. All right, because with
Yeah.
all this,
Yeah.
I personally I think people have taken the Lando stuff that we've gotten. Justin Simeon, who was supposed to have, or supposedly, the article we talked about a little bit in the news, had written stuff. He called it a Bible. So there were scripts, there were concept art, there was all kinds of things ready to go. It was basically just kind of on the cusp of going forward with it, and they decided to scratch that and then go with the Glovers. All right, so
Yeah.
Donald Glover, who obviously is the new Lando, young Lando, and then his brother Steven, I believe, we're going to take it over. And I believe that people are
Yeah.
trying to get clicks saying that Lando's finished, where I really think this is just an article about that guy being upset. I think he took it
Because the
too
Glovers are
far.
taking
He
over.
talked
Yeah.
about, you have kids, Mike. So this guy said that having this script revoked and basically losing this was like losing a child to him. Now, I'm
Yeah.
assuming this guy does not have any kids, right? To say
Right.
something like that. I
I
don't want
mean,
to beat him into the ground. I know, but I mean, you typically,
I've not lost a child, but just think, just when your
just
mind goes to those dark
honest.
places and you think of things, the bad things that could have
Yeah,
happened
you
to your kid.
can't get a hold of your kid or
That's
something, or
right.
yeah. And I mean, I
I've
don't.
lost, yeah, I've lost things like precious to me, and it's not hurt like that. You know what I mean?
So yeah, I just think that. I mean, I get it. I mean, that shows his passion. We talked about passion.
Right.
Maybe it was
Maybe
ill
just
advised,
poor choice of words.
poor
Yeah.
choice of words. But if he's that good, then bring him back to do something else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Why not?
if it was that
I
good, and
Yeah.
so
I'm interested in seeing what the Glovers do with it. I mean,
oh yeah, he's
that
super
is. I
talented.
mean, he is one talented mofo, man. I mean,
Yeah,
just
and I'm sure his
I,
brother's probably the same way. Just
I would assume, yeah.
I
And he
mean,
just didn't. Maybe he's not quite as good looking, or just didn't get the same
yeah, I
breaks that
mean,
his brother
that's
did.
that's part of it. Well,
Yep.
apparently, like Donald Glover wrote a whole season of Deadpool stuff for like like an animated series they were going to do, and he wrote the whole thing
Oh yeah.
himself, and it was like here, and then
Yeah.
they told him they didn't want it, and I guess he's kind of pissed about that, but.
Yeah.
The guy is super talented. Was the Childish Gambino?
Yes.
And you see him in Community. It is
Hmm.
hard because I had just come off binging Community and went and saw Solo, and it's difficult to see him
Yeah.
sometimes. He's not
Yeah.
that kid in Community, but no
Hmm.
fault of his. I thought he did a good job as Solo. But so I think that's going to be a big thing. I think you're going to get, like you said, maybe something from Andor. Hopefully,
Yeah.
Skeleton Crew. Like, I feel like you should wake up Saturday morning and we should be bombarded with information.
I hope
And
so.
we'll
Yeah.
jump on. I think that, I mean, if it's enough, we already have two shows going, two things we're recording on Sunday. Like I said, we
Mhm.
have an interview and we have something else we're doing. We're going to be doing Order 66, just
Yeah.
talking about Order 66 a little bit in a little bit different way than you and I are going to talk about it
Right.
later on. So, but it's pretty cool because we have our 66th episode. Oh, and I forgot to tell you,
Hmm.
you and Tiara and myself last week when we went on. Was that last week? That when we went
Yeah.
on Friday?
Friday. Yep.
That was our 100th podcast. So that
No
was pretty
way.
cool. Yeah, I had no idea. So we
Wow.
100 podcasts. I have no idea what we got it going on. Not the main show. We're
Wow.
going to be at 66 in the
Right.
main show, but I thought that was pretty cool. 100
That's
podcasts. Like,
significant.
who
Yeah.
knew? We're less
That's
than
cool.
yeah, less than a year and a half old. So I was pretty excited.
Yeah.
Um, I'm hoping. Let me see what else is there. Skeleton Crew. We got to get that trailer. Got to have it.
Yeah.
Got
Yeah.
to
Yeah. Yeah.
have it.
I mean, the timing
Even
is
if it's
right.
that same footage, just clear.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
so that something about Lando. Maybe they
The
give us.
Lando thing, that would be really interesting because that's not really on the big radar. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you kind of
all the shows that are in
tears
the
and
pipeline and
but
stuff like that. That's something that's just kind of out there. It would be
yeah.
really, really nice to hear something different coming out.
And on the Lando side of things, Donald Glover just finished up. He had Mr. and Mrs. Smith remake on I think it was
Hmm.
Amazon or Hulu. He had the show Hot. Was it Hotlanta or just Atlanta? That was on like
Atlanta.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Now I think his focus can be Lando, so that's pretty exciting
Yeah.
that like he turns his focus there. We also have like 47,000 movies supposedly being made, right?
Yeah.
Rogue
Yeah.
Squadron. We've got the Dawn of the
Mhm.
Jedi. We've got Grogu. We've got John Favreau's. We've got the Dawn of the Jedi. We've got the new Rey movie. We've got Taika Waititi's movie. I mean, you only go all the way back. We got three movies
So
coming from
much.
Ryan Johnson, right? So maybe we get some
Yeah.
clarity. Maybe we get some. I can't imagine we have any kind of footage from any of that stuff because I mean none of it's
No.
really doing anything. But um, maybe we get some more information on it. I think that would be pretty
Yeah.
cool. Um,
Yeah, it'd be nice to either have the rumors substantiated or quashed, just so you know really what's coming down the pike.
yeah, yeah. RFB says it is on the West Coast, so it will be because it's like what
Right.
time did I say that one was going to be? That was going to be from 7 to 9.
It's in the
So
evening.
that's like 9 to 11 for me. I will be in bed.
Mm, me
But
as well.
yeah,
Actually,
RFB.
wait, that's Saturday?
That's Friday night.
Friday night. Okay. Yeah, I'll be in bed
So
because Saturday I'm going to see Green Day in Hershey. So
oh, that'll be so
I will
good.
be up late. Yes.
Oh, that'll
Third
be so
time seeing them, taking my
man.
daughters.
Very
Actually, my
cool.
daughters are taking me. They paid for the tickets.
All
So,
right. Very cool. That'll be fun.
yeah.
Man,
Yeah, I'm
that'll be
looking forward to
cool.
that.
Those guys are getting kind of old though.
That's all right. Still putting
Like
out good music.
still putting out. Are they still putting out new stuff?
Yeah, they have a new album out. It was maybe late last year, early this year. I don't know, something like that. I saw them first time I ever saw them was just before Dookie came out.
Oh
They
man,
had
I love that
yeah,
album.
they just had the two albums out and some EPs. That was just an amazing show. Like seeing
For
those guys
sure.
for the
They
first time and not really knowing anything about them, it was just wow.
That's awesome.
And
Yeah,
then
I
they
wouldn't
then
mind.
they went and blew up.
Yeah, and then they got the whole
So,
Seinfeld thing, and that just took them to the next level with having what
hmm
is that? What's that? Time of My Life? Is that the name of that song?
yep, time of my
Yeah,
life. Yeah.
that. But I love the Basket Case. I love
Uh huh.
like that. All those that whole thing. That's right up there with Blink 182's "Take Off Your Pants and Jacket" for me. As
Yep.
far as like, we were talking a lot about nostalgia last week. That would
I
be.
saw Blink 182 at the same place I'm seeing Green Day a
That'd
few
be
years
pretty
ago.
cool.
Yep.
RFB says I wouldn't put too many credits on Lando news. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they want
Yeah.
to clear some things up. Maybe they don't. So, but
Like I said, I think that's just the one that's, there's a little bit of rumor out there and you'd like to get some information if it's really going on and what's going on with it. It's like I said, you already know about the Acolytes coming and Andor season 2 is coming and all the Grogu and Mando movie are coming. There's just the rumors, the little breadcrumbs uh, about the Lando movie. So,
yeah, I wonder. Even just have them come out and be like, yeah, this is still happening would be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
So
Like I said, either substantiate it or quash it.
yeah,
Just let
that
us
would be
know.
good. That would be good. Um, so I think I can't really imagine. I mean, that's the cool thing about it too is we'll have so much more to talk about after. Maybe on Tuesday next week we'll end up diving into everything we found out this weekend,
Yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
is pretty cool. So that kind of finishes off our Saturday. I mean, that Friday night, and that's again, that's not just going to be Star Wars. That's going to be like any kind of like Disney like live action film or any kind of new animation that's coming out or whatever. So that's
Yeah.
really exciting. New TV shows for that. We get into Saturday. We have some of the same stuff. You have the experience on the volume. You have Doug Chang designing with stagecraft. This guy, you want to talk about passion, Mike. This is the man responsible for all the prequel art. He got to work under the guys. I mean, listen to him speak is just phenomenal. At Anaheim, I was having the worst. Now, I sound like a big baby. I was at Celebration having a bad time. But I just things were not going my way, and it was super frustrating because we spent all this money to get
Yeah.
out there, and we drove 22 hours to get to Anaheim, and I was like, damn it, I want to see something. So I got into the Doug Chang thing because a lot of people don't care about that stuff. Him and one other event saved Celebration Anaheim for me, um, brought me back from the edge. But he was so passionate, loved Star
Yeah.
Wars, and then I ran into him in London. What a nice guy. He sat and talked to
Yeah.
me for a few minutes. We took a selfie together. I take selfies like old men, so it took me like 5 minutes to figure out how to do it. But he was super friendly and just kind of talking. And a bunch of our friends ran into him, and he talked with all of them. This guy, passion is just, I mean, oozing out. And he's basically, it says here, Lucas's senior vice president, executive design director, Doug Chang, takes us back to drawing board for an in-depth look at Star Wars designs are incorporated using stagecraft technology. So this will be an awesome. I know for people who
Yeah.
don't really know a lot, they like, oh yeah, whatever. This, I promise you, if we were there, we'd be going to see this because this guy is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Love Star Wars. He's been involved since, I mean, the early '90s. He's been involved with stuff. So um, he has lots of fun stories because he's worked with George a lot in the prequels
Yeah.
and a bunch of different things like that as well. So that would be really, really
Awesome.
great. We have the droids again, and then we have the big one. And we've reported on this a little bit. At 4 p.m., I'll look back at Star Wars: The Acolyte with Manti Jacinto. Am I saying, is it Jacinto or Jacinto? I've heard of the
You
ways.
got me, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't want to be
I'm about as good
disrespectful.
at I'm about as good as pronouncing names as you are.
Yeah, so, um,
Couple guys from Central Pennsylvania. There's a
yeah,
whole lot of
yeah, not a lot of culture in our
diversity
lives.
around here, culture. Yeah.
Yeah, so, um, but this is where they kind of got us here. It says, join the Acolytes, Manti Jacinto, as he reflects on the first season of the series and reveals new insights on the stranger. Disney knows that we're all going to read into everything
Yeah.
and we're going to scrutinize, we're going to dissect. This cannot be a mistake,
Just
right?
an interview with me. Yeah. It's got to be. This is where they're gonna announce season 2, right?
That's the thought when they say the first season. Why not just say
Yeah.
the
Disney's latest
series?
hit. Yeah,
Yeah,
The
like
Acolyte.
the
You
series
know.
The Acolyte reflects on.
Hmm.
So, oh man, that's 4 o'clock. That'll be 6 o'clock my time Saturday. I've just gotten done smoking my nephews at Nerf. Just wait till you guys see what I've been working on for their Nerf battle. We'll just put it this way: the Uncle Lorian is going to be in full gear.
Nice.
So I've got some stuff. I got something planned for him. So I don't even
Nice.
know what's going to hit him. But yeah, this is going to be huge.
Hmm.
I, I mean, maybe we're reading too much into this, but I just feel like on the first season, like it has to be, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
It has
you're
to
bringing
be.
in a heavy hitter. You're
Like,
bringing in Manny.
yeah,
Like
right.
it's not
And
some
like
dope that was like
like
it's
you've
not
said
Mog. It
multiple
was Mog. They're
times.
not bringing
Yeah.
in Mog.
But like you've said multiple times, even with all the hate that's out there for that series, like these people are watching it, so the viewing numbers have to be out. Just it
Yeah,
has
I
to be
mean,
high.
they're like talking like these Nielsen ratings. I don't 100% understand exactly what that, but they're talking about it not being very high. But Andor is the lowest, and we're getting ready for
Yeah.
season 2 of Andor.
Mm-hmm.
So RFB says it's Jacinto, not Yacinto. So thank you, RFB. I appreciate you. Look at that guy. He's also from Pennsylvania, Mike.
I know.
So you got a little more
He's
culture than
cultured.
you got a little more culture than the two of us, apparently. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's any way around. My guess is that you're gonna get a Leslie Headland sighting. She's gonna come out, because this has been real quiet since the season's over. I mean,
Yeah.
you haven't seen a ton. She's come out and she's said some things, but it'd be a good show of force. And I'm not trying to get political or anything with this, but this is, and I don't know how to put this. I'm not a huge Kathleen Kennedy's done a lot of good things. I do think she has an agenda. Like I do think that. Like I'm not gonna like she wants, but I've enjoyed Star Wars. I mean, she'll go down in history as one of the greatest producers ever.
Mm-hmm.
As far as that with the stuff that she's done, and for everything that we didn't like, we got 100 things that we did like.
Yep.
Um, she's not gonna back down. There's
Yeah.
no way. If she
Yeah.
doesn't have a
No.
season 2, the
Mm-hmm.
voices of certain podcasts, certain YouTubers are going to think that
Yeah.
they're winning. And I just feel like they'll do it for
I
that
hope
reason. I
so.
mean, and I also do think that they have a story that's supposed to go, what, like 3 or 4 seasons, anyways? They're supposed
I
to be
guess
spread
that.
out
Yeah.
over that, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
But I just think
And
that this is her way to
what's
flex on all those fools, too.
yeah? What does Kathleen have to lose at this point too? Like she's near the end of her contract, I believe. So why not? If it's something that she's behind, why not?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I, and there were, even Kev was like, yeah, nothing's perfect. He goes, I got things in Star Wars I don't even bother with and stuff I love. And, he's very honest about like, I don't know a whole lot about the story, but I can tell you all the stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Um, I think, and he spoke glowingly of Leslie Headland. He's like, he's
Yeah.
never worked, and he's worked with JJ and Ryan on Star Wars. He goes,
Mm-hmm.
he's never met anyone who knows as much about Star Wars lore as she did. And he's not
Mm-hmm.
going to just continue to say that. And he said it multiple times. I've heard him in different
Right.
interviews, different,
Yeah.
phone
What does he
interviews
have
that
to
we have.
gain?
Yeah, it's not
Mm-hmm.
going to do him any favors. Like he's solid. That guy doesn't have to
Yeah.
worry about work.
No.
Like
I
he
mean,
will work
yeah.
until he doesn't want to work anymore. He's again phenomenal. Check him out. And if you don't even want to listen to our podcast, lots of other people have had him on. Um,
Yeah.
so just go and enjoy him. But um, I think this is an opportunity for them to come out swinging. We're going to do season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Deal with it, right? There'll be some
Yeah.
backlash, and then next thing you know, I'm not sure when that would come out. Probably in 2 years or 3 years, maybe.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing about them not
That.
having like this is a TV show is like you have to wait 3 years. I mean,
Yeah.
Emmanuel Stenberg's going to look a little bit older. It's like
Right.
the Skeleton Crew stuff. Like those kids are going to be like 4 times the size they were when they made these movies. So
Mm-hmm.
like if they're going to do
Yep.
if the
Absolutely.
Skeleton Crew hits hard, and these kids are going to be in the movies. They're not even going to be recognizable.
Yeah.
Kids grow so
Yeah.
fast.
I get
So
so frustrated when they bring out a show on streaming and they don't automatically buy into, okay, this is going to be a 3 season run or this is going to be a 4 season run or whatever. I hate that when it comes to an end and they haven't been renewed yet and you're just like, oh my God, how long is this going to be? And sometimes they can whip out a season pretty quickly and it's satisfying, but other times it just drags so long.
yeah, yeah. I think it's been written. Although
Hmm.
Leslie said she's been thinking about the Acolyte for years. Like,
Yeah.
I think sometimes we think like, oh, I have this idea, I'm gonna go make a movie.
Yeah.
This is like 7. I've heard like Ryan Reynolds talk about getting Deadpool to the main. It took him years and like
Yeah.
leaking footage and doing all these other things um,
Hmm.
to get what he wanted, and so you know we're looking at a year or two at least. I mean, because
Yeah.
just putting it all together and
Unfortunately.
all that production design and all that stuff that's
Hmm.
going into it, like from the stuff that Kev told us, doesn't sound like it's very easy. It's very time consuming,
Hmm.
but And he did mention one thing too. I thought everyone's complaining about the budget, and he's like, people say, look, keep comparing it to the House of Dragons.
Yeah.
He's like, you can just go get a castle. Like they're all over
Yeah.
the place. You don't have to build everything from
Right.
scratch. So people can
Uh-huh.
pump the brakes a little bit on that.
Yeah, we don't have as many sci-fi looking places that you can just go
Yeah.
and film on location. You kind of have to construct it all.
So that's a big thing on Saturday. Sunday, August 11th, we've got the ILMM stuff again. We've got the conversation with Lucasfilm Animation, so that's new. We got Athena Portillo, Vice President Animation Production, Vanessa Marshall, the voice of Harrison Nula in Star Wars Rebels, reflect on favorite moments from nearly 2 decades of Lucasfilm animation, critically acclaimed storytelling, and that's something I forgot in the Friday night thing. Maybe this is where they do it. New Star Wars animation.
Yeah, there's got to be something in the pipeline, right?
Well, I spoke with, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on her name right now. I have her autograph. Where is it? Nika Fuderman, the voice of
Okay.
Asajj Ventress, right? Good thing that's sitting
Okay.
right behind me. Um, when talking to her last March, she goes, "This is just the beginning." Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
"What?" I'm like, "Did you work with, And she's like, "Nah, I can't tell you." I'm like, "I know." And we tried to get her on the show, and I still kind of think she may have gotten in some trouble by Disney for. I mean,
Ah,
we didn't report on it because we're like, well,
right.
she's telling me that as a fan.
Mm,
She was excited to be back, I think, and I think she told some of the wrong people because it did get reported out
mm,
of Kansas City that she was saying that, and then everything's kind of went dark ever since.
mm.
And like she didn't respond to anything really.
Yeah,
Like we tried to get her on the show and everything like
she got
that,
her
but
hand slapped.
yeah, I think, everyone talks about the Mouse House doesn't mess around. You sign those
Yeah. Oh
NDAs, you're
yeah.
not
Yeah. Yeah.
supposed to say a
Yeah.
word, and that's why
Hmm.
we don't typically bother people we have on the show. Like we had Brendan Wayne on the show.
Yeah.
Like we're not going to bother you with stuff we know you can't tell us.
Uh huh.
So, um, but maybe this is where we get that information.
Yeah.
There's lots of speculation right now that it's going to be an Asajj Ventress thing, and maybe it's Omega, maybe it's a Clone Wars, like maybe it's going to be what Rex and all those guys are doing, which
Hmm.
I don't know, something new. I have no idea what it
Yeah.
could be, and I like to speculate and things like that, but I'm just gonna wait for it and find out and be
Yeah.
excited for it.
I'm honestly, there's lots of different ways it can go. There's so many
Yeah,
things that are set up. It could go any which way.
if there was one thing, would you want to see? They had these comic runs in between, like they just did a 50 run of a series between Empire and Return of the Jedi, right? 50
Hmm.
comics. I have all of them. I have read 10 of them so far. I get overwhelmed with everything I've got to read, but would you want a Legacies character animated show? Could you handle a Luke, Leia, and Han animation?
I don't. I don't think I want that. No, I don't think. There's been enough of the Skywalker stuff. I mean,
Fair.
everybody's saying it. It's let's move on. There's so many other interesting characters, stories to tell. Luke's had his arc. Let's move on. You know.
Fair enough.
Besides, like, you could do a lot more with the animation. As far you don't have to get the original actor. You can get someone to voice him that's a sound alike and things like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, let's just let's move on. There's so
Move on.
many.
Hey,
Yeah, like you
I'm not
just
against it. I'm just asking, like,
yeah. Yeah, it's not a thing that I would want. No.
yeah, because people that don't know, Mike has binged through everything that Disney Plus has on its like a couple
Pretty
months.
much.
You crushed everything, right? Clone Wars,
Well,
Rebels,
yeah.
Bad
I mean,
Batch, like
yeah,
you hammer that stuff out.
yeah.
So most of that's
You
for
know that
free.
that's the nice thing about the animation is like I haven't gone back and revisited a lot of the movies that I'd like to, but the animation, it's 30-minute clips. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I could sit back in my massage chair and enjoy a massage while I watch a cartoon for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's perfect for
By the way,
binging.
you have a
But
massage chair,
yeah,
and I didn't get to sit
I
in the
work
last time I was
hard,
over watching.
motherfucker.
I get to watch the Steelers game last time. Oh man,
Well, it was right there in the corner. You just didn't
ah,
notice it, I guess.
too busy petting your dogs.
Yep.
Dang it. All right, fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. I'm down for anything. I think it's going to be a
Yeah,
solid adventure, something with the path, the
that
hidden
would be
path,
really
because
cool.
we've seen tidbits of this in Kenobi. We've seen it in Jedi
Yeah.
Fallen Order or Survivor. We've heard
Hmm.
about it in different places now. I think it's time to bring all that together. Bring
Yeah.
Cal, bring Asajj, bring Quinlan back. Like that's
Hmm.
what I. If I had my opera, if I like, hey, what do you want us to make? I'm like, making Asajj Ventress. You brought her back from the dead for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's not an insignificant thing. And Dave
Hmm.
Filoni respects canon, and he's not going to bring her back unless there's an absolutely,
Yeah.
positively, super good reason to
Yeah.
keep.
Yeah. That in all honesty, I think that's the direction I'd like to see the animation go right now. I mean, we just came off Bad Batch, and the Omega stories is definitely interesting in front of everybody's mind and whatnot. You'd like to pursue that story, but that can simmer for a while as we go explore what Asajj has been up to and what she's going into. So I think that would be the most logical, and I think I would enjoy seeing that.
All right. Yeah, lots of going on. So 2 o'clock on Sunday, we've got the Legacy Effects again. We've got Star Wars Jedi Young Jedi Adventure. I say that wrong every single time. Just my goodness. 4 p.m. Then the big closing ceremonies. This is another one of those fan pass ticket holders only. Um, and it says here, since 1987, Disney's Legends Award program has honored gifted individuals for the significant impact they've had on Disney legacy. We'll be honoring the 2024 class of Disney Legends, including John Williams, who absolutely
Nice.
deserves that.
Oh
That guy
yeah.
is phenomenal.
Uh
Harrison
huh.
Ford, Frank Oz. So these are the Star Wars people that are going to be getting introduced. And this is going to be on Sunday,
Hmm.
August 11th at 5 p.m. And of course, I'll probably save something dramatic for the final, you
Yeah.
know. But I mean, this focus really is on these actors and things like that, and actors, and we got musicians, and all these different people in here. Oh, Frank Oz, the voice and puppeteer of Yoda. I don't know what you would call
Yoda.
him, puppeteer, or like I don't know, actor. I guess. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, he is.
acting, and probably harder than actually acting is making
Yeah.
a puppet look like it's really out in the swamp
Right.
training Luke Skywalker. So that would be he deserves an award just for that. But
Absolutely.
that brings us to the end of the weekend, which I mean, this would be. I'm gonna look into this. I think maybe not next year coming off
Yeah.
Japan, but this might be something fun to go to. Get out to California before the school year starts, or even during the school year, even better. Um, so what if for you? What are you looking forward to the most? Like the news coming out of what do you think we're gonna get the biggest hit from?
I would say
Friday night, you
probably.
got the big showcase. You got Saturday, you got the Acolyte stuff, and then on Sunday, you've got the animation stuff.
I would say any announcements they make on movies, especially on the core, the next Ray movie, whatever comes out about that is probably going to be the biggest news out there. Honestly, that's not what I'm most excited about. I mean, I'm more excited about. I want to know that there's season 2 of the Acolyte coming. I really enjoyed that show. I want to go and rewatch the whole thing again. Now that
I'm telling you,
like
it's
there,
way
it
better
has
when you.
inspired so much conversation and like so much thought that I've put into it that I really would like to sit down and watch the whole thing again. So that's big for me. Is please say there's going to be a season 2.
Love that.
And anything that's just new, anything that's not on the horizon, anything I haven't thought about that
Oh, that's
just
where they get you.
spark
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
that's
So
what I want. I want.
that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. RFB says Nika aside, LF Lucasfilm was hiring a mid-level animation supervisor. I think I heard that news too. So they don't say new Star Wars animation. I don't know what else does. The Force is with Jesse. Welcome. Hello there, first timer. Enjoying the conversation. Great. Thank you for
Awesome.
joining us, Jesse. We appreciate
Absolutely.
having you. We're going to be here every Tuesday leading up to Skeleton Crew, and then this show will shift gears into Skeleton Crew recaps after each episode live. Sometimes we're a little bit emotional, uh, but
I hope
yeah,
so. I
yeah. I
really do.
hope
I
so.
hope that. I
I
hope
hope
this
it.
inspires some emotion.
We get
Yes.
on there and we're like, so how was that episode? Yeah, I want to be down
Yeah.
here like I was episode 5 of the Acolyte, just
Yes.
stumbling and crying on the
What?
inside. Yeah. So, but yeah, thanks for joining us, Jesse. I hope we caught you. Hope you're still on here. Um, but yeah, I think I'm down for any of it. I mean, I'd be
Yeah.
happy with a new. If they just announced a new animated show, I'd be like, okay. I mean, I know there's more than that
Hmm.
coming, but I'd be happy with that. I really enjoyed the Bad Batch more than I thought I would. Bad
Yeah.
Batch
Oh, I
season
loved it.
two, because they were releasing those and the Mando episodes for season three of Mando,
Hmm.
they came out at the same time. By the point we're about, I don't know, 2 or 3 episodes into Mando, I would watch the Bad Batch first because I felt like it was better acted. It
Yeah.
was more intense. I felt like there was more at stake, and I was like, this is not be how I feel because I love Mando seasons one and two.
Yeah.
Season three fell short for me. I hope they come back with it, but yeah, I don't know. RFB, if you're still there, I know we got a bit of a lag. Um, and Jesse, you too, if any of you guys are still there, kind of pause for a minute here. But what are you guys most excited for, if anything? So let us know real quick, and we'll give you guys a
Yeah.
shout out. I apologize. I still not great at running these things back and forth. So, but especially when I'm late. So, I did go 2-0 at my. I got to play one guy. Now, in all fairness, it was his first time playing, so um, I beat him at Star Wars Unlimited, and then got some packs. It was fun. I had to go to Wizards
Nice.
Alley and
Yeah.
thing like that. Jesse, here he goes. The forces of Jesse says more animation is needed. I feel like there's always needs to be an animated series on the go. I would
I
agree
agree.
that I think there should
Yeah.
always be some kind of.
Hmm.
Jesse, any ideas like Clone Wars season 8, or do you want Rebel season? Well, I guess we already had Rebel season 5 and Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's weird to me though because like I try to get my wife to watch animation. I always feel like weird having her watch like cartoons
A
with me.
cartoon.
So I don't know what it is about that, but I'm like, we're gonna
It's
rewatch Rebels. But I was like,
yeah.
it's really really good. It just
It
feels
is.
weird
Yeah.
asking another adult to watch a
Yeah.
animated
Yeah.
show with me. She
It
would
is
do it.
elevated though.
Yeah. RFP says if Jim don't know me well enough already, I think he'd say, "Tell me a Star Wars story." Yeah, RFP doesn't like to speculate. I do know that much. He
Mm.
likes just to take it what it is. But yeah,
Yeah, I
tell him
get
a good
that.
Star Wars story. Um, so I'd love LFL to treat animation like DC. Have a medium that could do book adaptations. Oh, I
Yeah.
would love. I don't know, Mike. You've been reading High Republic, right?
Yes. Yep.
I would love if we're not going to get it live action. Let's see some animated
Oh
Nihil
yeah.
battles and the
Yeah.
Path of the Open Hand, and
Hmm.
I want to see a Nameless. I want to see a Leveler. I want to see all this stuff on the big screen. But if
Yeah.
I'm not going to get it, show it to me in an intense way, like DC does with Batman and
Hmm.
stuff like that. I'd
Hmm.
definitely be down for that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that is
Give
one
me
thing
Dark
DC can
Disciple.
do.
Ooh, Mike, have you read Dark Disciple yet? I know you're
No,
just
that's
getting into
that's
some of the
on
books.
my list. There's
Yeah, Dark
so much good
Disciple.
stuff coming out. Like, I got to get through this the current High Republic novel that I'm reading. I got to get through that,
That
and then
Temptation of the
there's
Force or that Eye of Darkness?
I no, I'm not even that
Are you in
far.
season? You're in.
I have to pull it up real quick. But once I get through that, besides Star Wars, I do read other things. So
Mike is massive. Yeah, I
Margaret,
always tell Mike like read this, and I've got him hooked.
there's a new Dragonlance novel coming out
Oh
this
no
winter.
way.
Yeah,
Tracy Weiss and Hickman.
I don't know if you've read any of the new trilogy that they wrote.
No.
This will be the third book of the trilogy, so this is perfect time for you to start because the third one's coming out, so you can
Man, I
burn through them all.
God.
It's an amazing new trilogy. But
Dragonlance
then
was Mike and I's childhood growing up.
yeah,
Was Dragonlance that what was that first series we read? Tannis Half
the
Elven and
Chronicles.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chronicles.
Always
But
wanted a young Kevin Costner playing Tannis Half Elven.
oh yeah, yeah. I don't know why. Like they've tried a couple different times to bring that to the big screen. I know they've tried a couple different times animated. It's never worked out, but I'd love to see that
Oh,
come
it'd be
forward.
so
But
good.
yeah, I forgot to read Tempest Runner, so I went back
Okay.
to it and realized that
An
it's an
audiobook.
audio play,
It's
so
pretty
it's
good.
kind of a weird read. But
Yeah, that
I'm
would be a
reading
weird one.
that.
You might want to just download that sucker and listen to it
But
while you're
well,
working.
I'm 80% through now, so.
Oh yeah.
But I'd already read Fallen Star, so then I would be on to the Eye of Darkness.
Oh man,
So
I'm telling you what, Eye of
I'm
Darkness,
almost the Eye of Darkness.
and then Eye of Darkness and Temptation of the Forest. Oof, they
Yeah,
just nonstop. You will fly through those two books. Jesse
yeah,
said you have to
but
put Dark Disciple at the top of your list.
Okay.
So,
Well,
but
that's the other thing. Like I was saying about if they bring out that the Asajj, if they go the Asajj route in
yeah, have to read it before that comes
yeah,
out.
I have to. Yep, that'll push that
And then it
up
got
for
Mace
me.
Windu coming out in August, I think. The Mace Windu's Mirror, Glass Oblivion, or something like that book.
Yeah,
That's going to
there's
lead us
so
into
much.
my I
Oh,
hate Mace
Brandon
Windu theory.
Sanderson's Brandon Sanderson's latest is out too. So, or it's not out yet, but it's coming out. They just
Oh my
released two
God, those books are
chapters.
so stupid long. Like
I
just
know, but they're so good.
an audiobook typically is like 12 to 14 hours is a long one. His are like 40 hours
20,
long.
30. I know,
Yeah,
I
I mean,
know.
I'm in the first one driving to Pennsylvania and back, which is almost 40 hours. I barely
Yeah,
finished the book. And I mean, I
yeah,
listened to it almost the entire time.
yeah.
So, but
I
anyway,
re-listened to all those on my mail route and just getting choked up when at different points.
yeah,
It feels so
I'd
silly.
still try and finish the book, I think. So, but anyways, yeah. So, um, yeah, Mike, thanks for
Yeah,
joining me.
absolutely. This was fun. I
All
can't
right,
believe
you,
we
Jesse.
made an hour out of this.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be, folks. If you, hopefully you guys will tune in and can tell people about us. Um, we'll have an idea sometimes. Sometimes we won't. We're just going to hop on and talk Star Wars, and it may dive into some of this other nonsense. But if you have
Yeah,
something you want to talk about, you want us to talk about, something you're passionate about, Jesse, if you want to, once Mike reads Dark Disciple, we'll do an episode on Dark
yeah,
Disciple or something. But
awesome.
um, bring something to it. Bring your
Yeah,
opinion,
please.
bring
I
your
mean,
thoughts to the table, and we'll dive into it.
yeah,
RP,
I
it's
think.
always fun to have you around too, buddy. We appreciate
Yeah,
all your support, man. We really
yeah,
do. So,
yeah. I think we have some ideas for the next couple shows, but yeah, please exploreforce at gmail.com. Send Jimmy your ideas.
yeah,
Uh,
100%.
I always worry. I mean, I always worry that I'm not going to have enough content for stuff like this, but then we sit down with something like this and we talk for an hour. It's no
Yeah,
problem.
good times. Just two buddies talking Star Wars,
That's
and
right.
whatever else they can remember. So,
That's
but
right.
all right.
It ain't
So,
gonna. We ain't gonna remember a lot coming up. We're getting older,
yeah,
man.
no worries. So, all right. Well, again, I want to thank everybody again for showing up. Mike, I'm excited to see where we go with this.
hmm
And do you have a quote? You want to end it like we end the main show typically? Our Star Wars
Oh,
quote. We can go with the
you know
basic.
what? The past 3 times you've had me on, I've pulled up a quote and had it ready to go, and then today I don't pull up anything, and then you ask me. Um, yeah, I can't think of anything right at the top of
All
my
right.
head.
Well, for all of us and
Let the
Mike.
force be with you. May the force be with you
All
all.
right. And we have spoken. We'll talk to you guys next week.
See y'all.
I think. Oh, where's my mouse? Come on, mousey. That